Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports.
All right, welcome into the Buckeye Blitz on FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media. I'm Jeff Thidoff. Tito, they call me. We're 55 days away from the Ohio State football season. 48 days until the start of the college football season. I don't think we call it week 0 anymore. I think we call it week 1. Just lump it all into like a 10-day period there where they do that. But the first week games that start August 26th, nothing really great on the agenda. Northwestern and Notre Dame. I'm sorry, Notre Dame playing Navy is the one on the docket right there. It's being played over in Ireland. So. Start off with some basketball news. E.J. Liddell, the former Buckeye great, who, among all my years of watching Ohio State basketball, I've never seen a guy improve as much from one year to the next as he did in between his second and third seasons with Ohio State. Played great and improved on his rebounding, his shooting, his outside shooting, his free throw shooting, his defense overall, blocked some shots, just looked a lot more comfortable. Goes to the NBA, gets drafted by the Pelicans in the second round, which I was disappointed about that. I thought he'd be a first-round pick. And then as soon as the summer league started last year, has a knee injury, out for the season. So now he's back, though, and he did play in their first summer league game. Before he did that, though, I'll tell you this. So his contract he signed is a second-round pick. NBA players, if you're not a first-round pick, your contract's not. So he signed a two-way deal and then gets hurt right away. Well, they've been so impressed with what he's done to get back on the court and what he's shown them in the offseason. Again, think about it. He could not play, basketball for quite a while after this knee injury. And they still rewarded him with a 3-year, $6.2 million deal. Kind of unheard of for somebody who never played a meaningful minute for New Orleans to do that with a second-round pick. They must be high on him, so good for EJ. Came out his first summer league game the other day, had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 block. He was 4-6 from the field, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, but can't wait to see what the future holds for him. Other things going on in the men's basketball side. Mike Conley, former Buckeye, he did something no one's ever done before, and he was named the winner of the NBA Sportsmanship Award for the 4th time. It's called the Joe Dumars Trophy is what you get. No one's ever won it 4 times before. Mike Conley, the former Buckeye great, who's had a very solid NBA career, one of the better NBA careers for a Buckeye player. I'm trying to think, if not, it's probably top 5 all time as far as Buckeye careers go in the NBA. But he's won it 4 times. This award started back in 95, 96. He won it in 13-14, 15-16, and 18-19 with the Grizzlies. And this year, when the season ended, he was with the Timberwolves. So good for him. He gets that. Buckeye basketball, can't wait to see what's going to happen with that this upcoming season. By the way, we're not sure who will be on the sidelines when the Buckeyes take on Virginia on December 30th up in Cleveland. And the reason that is a neutral site game, Rocket Mortgage. Bob Huggins, who the head coach for West Virginia, longtime Cincinnati coach, now with West Virginia, made some comments recently on a Cincinnati Talk radio show, said some BQT. Sorry. Anyway, made some comments about Xavier that were not flattering at all and offensive. And so he got reprimanded for that. And they said they're going to suspend him for a couple of games. I think he has to give back some salary, had to go through some kind of training and whatnot. Well, now, then he was pulled over for drunk driving in Pittsburgh. And not just drunk driving, he was completely smashed to the point where officers asked him, I think up to 9 times they asked him what city he was in. He thought he was in Columbus, Ohio, even though he was in Pittsburgh. And beer cans littered throughout his car, an empty cooler in the car as well. Just it was a sad, sad situation, a dangerous situation on top of that. Well, then the news comes out that he resigned from West Virginia. Well, now he is saying he never resigned. And he wants his job back. He wants to continue being the coach at West Virginia. His lawyer has said to West Virginia, he did not resign. West Virginia said, yes, you did. You resigned. So interesting to see how that battle will go, what will happen in that whole situation. But when they play in December, not sure who will be on the sideline running things for West Virginia when they take on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let's get into Ohio State football now, because that's usually what we talk about more than anything on the show. But the Buckeyes got another big-time recruit, and it's another defensive back, kid from Arizona. Miles Locke is his name. So class of 2024. And they've got as far as their cornerbacks go, there were 3 guys they really want. They've got 2 of them now locked in, as Lockhart now is one of them. Waiting to see what happens with Aaron Scott. He's the other one on the docket. But anyway, so Lockhart, again, for the state of Arizona. And what I've loved about Ohio State keeps adding these studs on defense, which is important. And for a couple reasons why I'm excited. One, I'm just excited because it's great to see Ohio State get these stud recruits anyway. But number 2, it's because it tells me that Jim Knowles, this highly touted defensive coordinator, and he is getting guys specifically that he wants that can fill his defensive scheme, that'll play well in his scheme. When Knowles got here, and Ohio State, don't forget, they were great on defense until the last 2 games of last season. They really were. I know, and said ahead of time, Jim Knowles came out and said ahead of time, look, the way I run my defense, the schemes that we run, it's going to give up big plays once in a while. And that's what you saw against Notre Dame early on. Against Toledo, had a great job with getting some big plays against Ohio State as well. It's a bend but don't break type of thing. And so the defense was really good statistically all the way up until the Michigan game. Obviously fell off there. Georgia tears everybody up as far as their offense goes. So, but Ohio State still hung in there tight with the Bulldogs for a good chunk of that. So, but Knowles had to come in and do that and work within the framework of guys that were already here. So not necessarily guys that he could have said, hey, this guy fits my scheme or this guy doesn't. He had to work with what they had. And Ohio State had talent, don't get me wrong. But now in the recruiting, he's able to go out and pinpoint guys that will fit well into his system. The system he had, different than what Ohio State did before, when Kerry Combs was kind of the pseudo defensive coordinator, I guess. But so when you get guys like that now, and they got some of the guys they've already picked up as far as recruits for 2024 that I'm excited about, certainly. Jalen McClain, he's the safety out of New Jersey. He's a 4-star. He's the number 1 prospect in the state of New Jersey, number 7 safety overall, according to On3, I believe. But he committed in June. Bryce West out of Cleveland Glenville, the other cornerback really wanted. Ohio's number 2 prospect in the state, number 6 cornerback overall in the country. Another one they grabbed, and they always do well, Glenville, guys like that. They just got the Justin Scott kid from out of Chicago, St. Ignatius in Illinois, and defensive tackle, 5-star, number 1 prospect in the state, number 2 defensive lineman in the country, number 8 prospect overall in the country. And he committed right before Miles did. But those are guys they already had, not to mention some ones they already had in there, including Peyton Pierce, who's the linebacker out of Texas. He's the number 45 overall prospect in the state of Texas. And Garrett Stover from right here in Columbus at Sunbury Big Walnut, a linebacker. He's the number 5 prospect in the state of Ohio, and number 153 overall, number 11 line. They're making a big push on defense, which is great to see. It's fun to see Ohio State doing these types of things where they are getting players in that will fit Knowles' scheme. The defense will be better this year, much better this year. Even though they were great last year for a good chunk of the season, I think that you will see when they get to that Michigan game again up north against in Ann Arbor, when they got to play that game on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, I think you'll see a much better by the defense, and they are set up again to be in the playoffs again this year. So good for Jim Knowles, good for Ohio State, and we got a lot more to talk about this week with recruiting. We'll get more news, talk more basketball as well. But as for now, follow me on Twitter. @ThatHappens. This is FanStream Sports, the Buckeye Blitz, brought to you by FanStream Sports, powered by DSP Media.